In India, particularly, ESG in banking has just entered. Very seriously followed, particularly US. It is very seriously followed. In
Okay.
India, it started in this decade, very lately this decade. Though it has been discussed since 2010, 12, but I think we are very nascent in it. We have to involve the banks more into it and get the best for the Mother Earth.
Leaders, a podcast series by World Development Corporation. I am Rajesh Joshi, uncovering some great achievements and contributions of unsung heroes inspiring others. In our episode for today, it is our privilege to uncover the makings of Mr. Arabinda Sahu, who sets great benchmarks with his 37 years of service in the banking industry. Before retiring in February this year, he was the senior vice president with Axis Bank, where he served for more than 18 years. I'm glad about the opportunity to interact with you, sir. We welcome you to the show.
Thank you, Rajesh. It's a nice introduction by you. I'm rather elated that you have spoken high words about me. I don't know how I justify, but I put my best efforts and successfully completed my service tenure.
Right, sir. So, to kickstart this discussion, Mr. Sahu, in your dedicated service of nearly 18 years at Axis Bank, you've handled several responsibilities. I would love to know about the most important ones.
Right. Rajesh, um, it is important to inform you and others that I had my initial stint in a public sector banks.
Uh-huh.
So I started as a probationary officer in the year 87 and I served 18 plus years in public sector bank. And public sector banks are very good platforms to train and make people experience in different segments of banking.
Okay.
I joined Axis Bank in 2006 as a assistant vice president and given a branch head's role. That time, Axis Bank was recruiting bankers only as branch heads who have served minimum 15 years. So
Okay.
by that time, I was already exposed to almost all segments of the banking, like the deposits, the planning, the credit, the NPA management, the
Uh-huh.
audit part of it. And this experience came with me as a strong support while I started Axis Banking. So I started 3 terms as a branch.
Okay.
I
Okay.
started with a medium-sized new branch and excelled in that branch. My performance, I make myself visible from that small branch only in a very isolated locations. It was in
Uh-huh.
northeast in Tinsukia. It was a very disturbed place that time because of the
Right.
terrorism, Assam terrorism. But that challenge has made my life different. So I was made myself visible from that. There,
Okay.
I was chosen as a vice president in 2.5 years,
Wow.
uh, well before my colleagues and competitors. And I was given two big branches back to back. They are multi-sized, large, very large, exceptional large branches. They are told. One
Okay.
is branch, which was heading as a regional team leader of the all the branches in Northeast. I
Mhm.
served for 3 years. Had a lot of good relationships like IOCL, All India, and a lot of tea gardens, their corporate offices, lot of relationship with the government of Assam. And after that, I was sent as a branch head again in Bhubaneswar. It was a 5,500 crore branch. It's a
Wow.
exceptional large branch. And after that, I was selected as a circle head. Circle head is means in our bank, it is like a CGM of state bank, like you are
Okay.
having a zone. So I was sent as a circle head of Bihar and Jharkhand that time, and I had a lot of good experience over that place, which I never visited rather. So I expanded 25, 30 branches. I had improved the performance of the branch bank as a circle. Then I was transferred again to Odisha. Odisha has
Okay.
been my home state, but I served very little time there. So I served as 3.5 years as circular. Again, different benchmarks I have achieved there.
Hmm.
After that, as my last tenure, I was transferred to West Bengal. Here I was
Okay.
heading two states, West Bengal and Sikkim, as circular or the state head of Axis Bank.
Okay.
So I'll be telling I enjoyed every stint of my posting. As a beginning branch, starting branch, Tinsukia, we had two large, exceptional large branches, Guwahati and Bhubaneswar, and as a circlet of three circles, Bihar, Jharkhand, Odisha, and West Bengal. Never I found anything different. It was me, I was enjoying my job. So I cannot differentiate that which stint I liked most or which stint I did like. I enjoyed every bit of my working in every place. The people, their infrastructure, the locality, I loved it. And that has been my strength in my service. So
Wow.
I don't want to specify anything because all the places I have ample success with support of people, uh, both employees, colleagues, and the customers. Everywhere the support was enormous, and I enjoyed every bit of my working.
Fantastic. Fantastic, sir. Oh, that was seriously amazing how you calculated every step of your professional success. You're considered an exemplary leader. Definitely, there's a lot of hard and smart work that you must have put in, sir. Could you please let us know how you reached up to this stature?
Very simple. I don't have any complex ideas in my life.
Uh-huh.
It is only hard work and dedicated hard work. And I thought I have no choice because I have chosen this role or job. I have to give my more than 100%, whatever I had. So I focus totally on it. So I have two, three things to focus totally. In every business or every service, I think the two, three things are required. First thing that you have chosen something to do, take it fully and put your total hard work there. If you do not choose to do, don't do something. But if you choose to do, give your 100% to that. And
Wow.
also your environment. My environment as a service industry, banking, financial service industry, it hovered around two infrastructures. They are resources, we told, internal resources and external resources. Internal
Okay.
resources is your team. So I had totally focused on my team. If my team perform, I perform always. So I spent 60 to 70% of my day on my resources, be it my direct resources in my team or the extended resources in the clusters and the branches.
Okay.
I was speaking as a circulate 40 to 60 branches every day or branch
Wow.
teams. I don't involve much in the online meetings and all. What is happening now? So what I was speaking to deputy leaders, cluster heads, one to one, weekly, once or twice, I'll speak 15 minutes. I will hear more from them and I will execute what their needs are there. Then the customers. As a service industry, we all know that customers are our gods. Whatever they
Right.
say, you have
Right.
to meet their expectations. And that is the education I was giving to my team. Say, if somebody is coming with some problem, some suggestion, accept it fast. Then see how we can work on it. This
Hmm.
here is hard work and the total focus on the resources, internal and external, have shaped my life. I, with a science graduate, I entered to a bank. So
Okay.
I had little bit of study as a extra course in economics and rural. I worked in rural banking, rural financing, then general financing. So in banking, everything has been already done. You have to follow it. You have to
Right.
know what are the best things done before me, and you have to improvise on that. If somebody, I always looked what my predecessor has done. I was very fondly talking to my people. Your predecessor and your successor make you more important. How you know? You have to do better than your predecessor. Then people will
Right.
see you. And if you have done better after your successor start doing, then people will remember you. The two things I focused and I worked on it. And there's simply, I put that simply theory into my life. nothing more. And once you go on doing things, results are definitely to come.
Well, absolutely, absolutely spot on, Mr. Sahu. I'm sure that your qualities of following up, of working with your people, of training your people, and ensuring that the gap was always addressed. I mean, such contributions, needless to say, these come from exceptional leadership qualities. You got to have it in you. I mean, you people say that leaders are born and all that stuff. I don't think so. I mean, hearing you.
You don't get ready-made people. You do not get ready-made infrastructure. You do not get ready-made things before you. You have to become. You are hired. You are required there because you have to make it.
Absolutely,
If I
absolutely,
get
sir.
all the people ready, so there would be different type of people. Exceptional performance, motivated performers. There are slow performers. You have to have different strategy for different type of people. And
Absolutely
when
right, sir.
everybody works for you, you are a great leader. You are successful leader.
Completely, completely understood.
That is the I worked on, and whatever little success I have, I dedicate totally to my team. They have helped me. Extended team. I had an extended team. I circulated 5,000 more people, and everybody felt that they should work for me.
Wow.
And that situation I had to create.
That's
Unless you're
definitely the hallmark of a great leader, sir. I mean, if there are people who would say if there was success, it was because of me, and failure was because of the team. But you're doing it exactly the other way. The success you're attributing to your team, sir. Fantastic, sir.
Rajesh, nothing you can do alone in this world.
So, sir, another feather in your cap is the distinguished ranks you have held at the national level. Could you let us know more about them?
See, now most of the banking business is driven on a very competitive basis and a comparison basis. How you are doing better than others. So
Uh-huh.
you are not gone are the long past days when banking was limited to only two, three things.
Right,
When we started as the deposits and the advances or credits and some of the fees. Now
right.
that has been divided to so many parts of it. If I discuss deposits, I can discuss 3 days in continuously. If I want to discuss credit, I will discuss 7 days. Fees, enormous tentacles now that. So you
Absolutely.
can't do everything the best way. So the ultimate aim for a banker is to get the unit profitability through getting best of the deposits, best of the credits, distribution of credits, then the earning of the fees. So you
Okay.
have to understand which are my areas where I can do better than others.
Absolutely.
The, absolutely, you have to go to the total growth of the profitability. As
Right.
a leader, I have to make my unit most profitable. So it comes through competition. Comes from campaigns because there is a lot of motivations things are there as campaigns. You understand, no, Rajesh?
Hmm.
So if the campaigns come, if you beat your staffs, they will not be happy. The campaigns are for everybody, the leaders, the teams in the ground. So you have to tell them that I need you. Without you, I am not there.
Right. Right.
A better team to represent any campaigns or competitions or whatever recognition, then you are already recognized. So I worked for my team and I told that I need you, I need your support. And very passionately I discussed how to do it in a very short term. These are two things you have to do. You do not have to focus so many things. Sorry. You have divided your day. How much you
Mhm.
have for daily duty because you have to serve customers. And this is the time how you have to do better. As an experienced banker also, I was telling how to do. What to do, everybody will tell. But how to get it accomplished, many few people will be doing. And I was focusing more how to accomplish it, how to get the top number, how to beat the competition, how to get your desired place. So in the beginning days when I was in a very remote semi-urban location, I was telling I was going for national campaign. I was the best branched consecutively for 2 years
Wow.
in Axis Bank.
Wow.
More difficult situation. Terrorism was there, army intrusions were there, night curfews were there, but I was working and recognized. So I was the first person in the bank to be sent as a trainee into a foreign institution from Axis Bank. First time. Now it is very common, but I was the first in 2007-8.
Okay.
So what I was telling my team that location is not a constraint, because location wise you will be given a target. How you achieve faster. Don't wait for the last day. How many people? So my bosses also, my authorities was giving a challenge to me. They will tell how many people will take this time to this location, this foreign location. I tell they want 100. I tell, so I will take 200 people because they do not go. I don't feel that I am a winner. So you are talking about how to accomplish it. Again, the focus. Along with other routine business, you have to focus in and you have to tell people, make them understand how that is going to benefit them,
Right.
both financially, career wise, exposure wise, recognition wise. Once your team gets it, it is a habit with them. And the team succeeds where you will be left behind. You will not.
Absolutely, absolutely spot on. I mean, truly great, Mr. Sahu. Your accomplishments are numerous, especially not constraining by locations, by any of the challenges that you have been, have been thrown at you. You have actually accepted these challenges, and the best part is that you have gotten your team also to accept these challenges and perform. I mean that I believe is one of the best hallmarks of a leader that one can really bring about. I really appreciate that, sir. That's really fantastic. And let me also quickly admit that I see that as a very rare quality in leaders, where the how part is rather emphasized rather than the what part. I mean, most of them, I believe, spend a lot of time on the what part than the how part. Fantastic, sir. Moving ahead to the next question, sir, as you've spent over 3.5 decades in your field, you must have faced several ups and downs in your professional life and definitely excelled in them, which you have already discussed with us. So, what advice would you like to share with our viewers on dealing with such challenges?
See, I don't think any place or in life is without challenges. It is full of challenges always. But the life is to be there to accept the challenges. I never got back with any challenges. I always loved challenges
Right.
and I face them. I always take it, then analyze. Maybe small thoughts come sometime that it is difficult how to get it. But when I get into it, I have a one thing at a time. That let me get into it. Without entering, I do not know the exact challenges. Once
Ab-
you get into it, it's not that challenging. Any job, any situation. And what I have to do, I have to give my best. And for that, I exist. If I give my 100%, I try to impact or influence my environment, my people, to give their 100%. I never thought about the results. See,
Right.
if you are telling about challenges, I was a student in Odisha. I told my home state.
Uh-huh.
I was posted in Assam, in far-flung Assam, as a first probationary officer. Going there was a challenge for me.
Okay.
Those days, coming to Calcutta to book a flight ticket and go, it was a nightmare for me. I went and found the place is so nice. It is such a cool place, so good people. I started loving the place, people, and work. And people started recognizing me. Then whenever some challenges were thrown to me by the management, I feel bit low. But क्यों मुझे, मैं क्यों? फिर मैं सोचता हूँ, अरे मैं ही तो हूँ जो वो लोग भरोसा कर रहा है. So they are giving this challenge to me. So I am that lucky that people depend on me. They think that I am capable of doing it. So I
Absolutely.
do it that way. And that has become a habit to me. Whenever people tell me why me, तो मैं सभी टाइम पूछता था why not me? सर मैं क्यों नहीं कर सकता उसको? और वो चैलेंज को मैं चैलेंज लेता नहीं, मैं सोचता था कि इसको तो मुझे करना है, आई विल बी द बेस्ट पर्सन टू डू इट, आई विल बी द बेस्ट पर्सन टू गिव माई एफर्ट्स, I will give my 100%. I will do not wait. I will not wait for the result. Let the result come. I tell to my staff members and my children also. Your job is to take the challenge, accept the challenge, and give the effort. Result is never in your hand. Sometimes you do best, you do not get your desired result. Sometimes you give your moderate, you get your best results. But
Absolutely.
giving moderate and getting best results are very exceptions. Always giving best efforts and expecting moderate results are always the way you should expect in your life. Life has been challenging, Rajesh. It has never been easy for me. I worked in 6, 7 states. I had 20 transfers in my life. And
Wow.
every time, for a good coach, people chosen me to send to this place and tackle this problem. I was never transferred because of a problem with me. I was always transferred to take charge of a problematic place. And I found no problem over there. Everywhere I found people were good, situation was good, but some people took it differently. They painted it badly, maybe.
Mhm.
If you are a painter, paint the world nicely, beautifully. Don't paint the world badly. Don't tell that challenges are bad. Challenges are to strengthen a person. They have strengthened me from inside. So I never considered these were opportunity rather for me. Had I
Right.
not worked in 20 places, 7 states, I would have not been that confident in my life to tackle any situation anytime. Lot many people come to me from different segments of society. I tell, अरे ये तो हुआ है सबके साथ में, किसी के साथ में तो हुआ है, तो I am not the first person in the world to take it. And
Right.
that has been the way how I faced my challenges. They have been always opportunities to me. I don't have much words about it.
Great, sir. Great, sir. Listening to you, there is a thought that actually comes to my mind. I mean, there is an actor actually who made the statement. There are many people who made the statement, but that actor is very prominent who has made the statement, and that is Mr. Amitabh Bachchan himself. And he said, "Throw a challenge at me. I will never fail. I will either succeed or I will learn." and
Yes,
and I believe that is something that you live by. I mean, all these 3.5 decades plus, I believe you have lived your life with this thought, and that's really really inspiring. I'm sure all our viewers watching this podcast are definitely going to take a lot from what you're saying, sir.
Mr. Amitabh Bachchan is a great personality, the icon it himself. I hear him, I get influenced. Whatever good things I hear from them, I at least try to implement in my life. If somebody could do it, he has rightly said. It is an opportunity that I have to put my best. I will get success, or I will learn from my mistakes or where I messed up, so that I can advise somebody. He will not. बोलते हैं
Absolutely.
ना, it is told that learn from others' mistakes and try to correct it in your life. So that is the best way
Absolutely.
one can do.
To take this conversation ahead, slightly moving away from what we were discussing so far, you're upskilling in ESG now. Is it because you found some scope for ESG implementation in the banking industry that led you to plan this move?
Yeah, see the ESG for this century at least, the biggest concern of the world is environment,
Right,
the global warming, because there is a ever increasing population and industrialization. Both the human beings, through different activities, industrializations, we have tried to cause the biggest injury to this Mother Earth.
right,
We
right,
have caused the peace. We have created these carbon emissions. So all these things have given up to the global warming, and the life in general is in threat. So there is a growing concern, evolving concern about the environment and social governance. It is not the banking alone. In every sector of life. So if it
right.
is industry, then discipline, governance to be brought in, which will be environment friendly. And for the banks also, Banks, what the banks do, you tell me? We are the
Mhm.
people who are creating the industries, financing.
Right.
Without the bank credit, the the industry is not growing throughout the
Absolutely.
world. So
Absolutely.
the bankers also have an important role to play, which are the environmental concerns to be attended. So in bank, it is called the net zero goal banking practices. So that does mean that we will also synchronize
Hmm.
our services, particularly credit and investment services, in
Okay.
a manner that the growth in the banking, business, industrialization, along with the environmental preservation coexists. So there have been in 2023, I believe, in Paris, there is a United Nations convention where
Hmm.
138 top global banks participated. They are spanning 44 countries, and they had about covering 41% of total assets.
Hmm. Hmm.
Uh, yeah, it was addressed the what is the role of banks in the ESG, that is
Okay.
uh, net zero global ESG pattern of banks. So there also it was discussed that more than 9.5 trillion US dollars assets under management of the banks.
Wow.
So here the challenge was to how to manage the financing and the investment of the finance made by the banks, so that
Hmm.
net zero GHG emissions are met, and simultaneously banking business can grow, industry can grow. So as a responsible banker, I have also uh, had the feeling that I have an important role in understanding what are the what are the concerns about the
Hmm.
industries to be seen before making them finance. What are the investments to be made which will not harm the globe further?
Okay.
So that is the concern the bankers have to see in general. And this has to be implemented. And there is a PIN forum. The Paris Agreement totally entails on that. Not much about this, but I think a lot many things to be developed, evolved, and worked on by the total banking industry. In India, particularly, ESG in banking has just entered, but
Okay.
globally elsewhere, it has been very seriously followed. Particularly US, it is very seriously followed. In
Okay.
India, it has started in this decade, very lately this decade, though it has been discussed since 2010 12, but I think we are very nascent in it. We have to involve the banks more into it and get the best for the Mother Earth.
Okay. 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 That's really outstanding insights that you're sharing, sir. Uh, that brings us to the last question of this podcast. We would really love for you to go on giving us all these insights. Now that you've chosen Directors Institute as your source of knowledge in ESG, how close do you think you have reached to your goal of an ESG role?
See, as I told, I am not away from the what the globe is experiencing.
Right,
And as a banker, I understand, and I have a exposure in credit,
right,
finance.
right.
So, going through the industry portfolio or the industry pattern, I can understand how they are involved involved in the process of the ESG governance. And if I can understand as a banker, if I have become a director sometime, I
Mhm.
can understand the two facets very clearly. Whether company, the company I am with, or the industry I'm associated with, they are also following that ESG governance, so that when I have to speak as a finance aid
Mhm.
or finance support to the company, I can say that these are the concerns you have to attend, you have to correct before approaching a financing organization. And also in the same company where I would be, if I would be a director, I can also give my advisory that these are the corrections we have to take. These are the concerns we have to attend, and these are the governance we have to implement and comply with the global ESG requirements.
Right, right, right. Mr. Arabinda Sahu, this interaction has filled my knowledge gap, and for sure, it has done the same with all our viewers. I am definitely going to follow your thought leadership, especially with the follow ups, leading by example. And the best part is trying to tell the team members how and not just the what part of it. We wish all the very best to you, Mr. Sahu, in all your future endeavors. And thank you. Thank you for being a part of this podcast.
Thank you, Rajesh. It has been such a nice interaction. Actually, I have been always a doer. I've never been a lecturer on that. So I don't know how I have spoken my life before you. But you have very so nicely anchored that many things came from my heart directly. So I could speak. If I was asked to tell so much, I would have not been able to tell so many things because I have practiced in my life. I have dealt with, I have worked with, I have led teams, I have motivated teams. Uh, I have seen performance as a top goal always. My authorities, bosses liked me as I am. So I have tried to be as I am always in front of you, or in front of the viewers. But it has been a nice experience talking to you in front of camera. I don't know how I have done, but I've given my best, the
Well,
best.
sir. Well,
Thank
absolutely good, sir. You were absolutely good. The best part is that a person who has been there and done that, who's, in our corporate language, they say who's gotten his sleeves dirty, actually does not have to struggle to find words to explain what he has done and what he believes in. So I believe that is what it has come from. It has come straight from the heart, and I
you.
really appreciate your time with us, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you.